Today's training will cover the Master User Access features. There are different levels of access provided by the Career Benefits system. There's the Employee Access, Employer Access, Broker, and Admin Access levels. The Master User features can be added to the Employer, Broker, or Admin levels to provide them with the additional tools available through these features. One feature that used to be a master level feature, but is now available at the employer and broker level and admin level access, is the hire rehire date change feature. Now, this feature is generally used when an employee has been hired, has enrolled in benefits, and then subsequently the hire date has changed. Perhaps it was entered incorrectly initially, and it needs to be changed. So I have an example set up. You can see this test employee has an effective date of benefits of June 1st. This is tied to their date of hire. Now, if I go in and change the date of hire to 7/1, the 6/1 current effective date is reflected in the first column. The new eligibility date is 7/1 is reflected in the second column, and the third column allows you to override the effective date if you choose to do so for some reason. Click the Finish button twice, and when we go back into the Benefits Enrollment screen, you'll see the new effective date of July 1st is reflected there. Also in the Work Info screen, of course, it is still July 1st. As a result of this transaction, a print form is generated. Now again, this feature used to be a master level feature, or master level access feature, and it is now available in the employer, broker, and admin access levels, regardless of whether or not the master features have been added. From here on out, all the features that I'll be reviewing pertain to master user level access only. This next feature is the enrollment effective date change. On the screen you're viewing is an example of what an employer or broker would view with their typical access. Under the covered member information, you normally see the date that coverage began for the individual listed. Now, if we go into another test employee, while in master user access level, we will see that this employee has an extra text box or extra date field box available here. Currently, the effective date of this person's benefits begins on May 1st. If we change the enrollment date to June 1st, click the Finish button, click again to generate a print enrollment form, we'll see that the new effective date of June 1st is reflected on the benefits statement or benefits enrollment screen. Please note that when entering the information into the boxes below, the coverage effective date must always be prior to or equal to the change effective date box. This validation rule has been built into the system. For both of these types of transactions, the hire-rehire date change and the enrollment effective date change, print forms are generated. If you are in the master level user access, when you click on print forms, you'll see a list of print forms, but you'll also see additional options on the left side of the screen. The first column being the No Display checkbox feature, where you can select this checkbox if you do not want the print form to be displayed to all non-master users. The second column lists the carriers that pertain to this particular transaction. So if you do not want the carrier or the EDI, the transaction to be included in the EDI for this particular carrier, you would click the checkbox. Note that if you have an employee whose EDI information was previously transmitted, you will not be able to select the checkbox for that particular carrier. It will be disabled, and you will not have that option. The remaining master user features that I'll be covering are described in this, or listed on this slide. The first one is the plan enrollment change. Now, at the different access levels, when you go into the Edit Benefit Plan Enrollment screen, the plan information that you see would be dependent upon how the benefit plan is set up. If you go into the benefit plan screen for a medical plan, and this is typical for other health plans as well, you'll see that on the basic information plan screen about halfway down, there are 3 checkboxes available. The first one, you're able to check the box if you want to allow the employees to make changes to the plan at any time during the year. If they're allowed to make changes to their plan enrollment at any time during the year, then, of course, when they go into their benefit plan enrollment screen, they need to see all the plans they're eligible for. So if that box is not checked and they are not able to make plan changes during the year, then when they go into their benefits enrollment screen, they will only see the plans that they're currently enrolled in. This is true for the employee level, the broker level, and the employer level. Now, because I am logged in at the master level user access, or using the master level I'm able to view all the plans the employee is eligible for. Here, they're currently enrolled at 6/1. If I choose to change their enrollment date, I would do so, and scheduled future change, so the effective date is under the scheduled enrollment change screen. The next feature I'd like to review is the rollback termination feature. If I go into another test employee and terminate this individual as of 6:30, and if I subsequently want to reverse the termination, we can see that first, before we do so, that when you go into the benefits enrollment screen, there's no benefit information, enrollment information available any longer. So we go back, simply change the status from terminated to active, click Finish, enter a new user ID, and here you can see the individual is active again, and his benefits have been reinstated. The next feature is the termination date change. I go into another employee whose termination date is June 25th. And we change the termination date to July 31st. We see the previous termination of benefits date is in the first column, and the new termination date pertains to the termination date I just entered of July 31st. And again, it gives us the opportunity to override that if we need to. You can see the termination date is effective July 31st. The last three features I'd like to cover are the pertaining to the non-Social Security number subscriber ID change, the primary care physician change, and the plan summary file uploads. Now, there is a custom feature that's available through your account manager, whereas if an employee does not want to use their Social Security number for benefit enrollment purposes, they can turn on a feature to use a subscriber ID instead of the Social Security number. You can see with this employee, actually if we go into their work info screen, there's a checkbox available here at the bottom where that may be selected, and if selected, the employer would not use the Social Security number for enrollment purposes. When you go into the benefits enrollment screen for this particular employee, you see on the right-hand side a subscriber ID number associated with each of the plans. Now, if we are in the employer or broker access level, we're not able to change the subscriber ID by itself without making a plan change. If we attempt to do so, we would get an error message indicating no plan changes have been made. Therefore, you must log in as a master user, change the subscriber ID, and go back into the edit screen. The subscriber ID has now been updated. Also, at the master user access level, you're able to go into the PCP summary and make changes. Generally, at the employer and broker level, you receive a message indicating that no changes can be made through the system. But as indicated before, here I am logged in as a master user. I've clicked on PCP summary, and I may go in and edit the PCP information for this employee. For both these two types of transactions, a print form is generated in the system at the master user level, but this print form is not viewable for non-master users. Lastly, last feature is the plan summary upload feature, where in the benefit plan area, under plan summary files, here you're able to upload plan summaries and SPDs pertaining to the different plans. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see the effective date and expiration date of the file that you're uploading. For the employer and the broker level access, for those access levels, the effective date of the plan that you're uploading or the document that you're uploading cannot be prior to the upload date. Therefore, if today's date is June 18th, 2009, and for some reason I did not get the SPD for this particular plan year of 2009 beginning January 1st until today, as an employer or broker user, I'm not able to upload the plan. I will get an error message. With this master user feature, I'm able to upload a file using a 1/1/2009 date, even though it's prior to today's upload date, which is June 18th, 2009. So the master user feature will allow me to upload the file. Briefly, to review, the master user features available today, one being the hire-rehire date. It is no longer a master user feature, and it is available at the employer and broker level. The enrollment effective date change, the print form display and EDI options, plan enrollment change, rollback termination, termination date change, subscriber ID change, primary care physician change, and uploading plan summary files where their effective date has already passed are all master user features currently available.